I'm good.
How are you
Jeff.
feeling?
Oh, I feel good. I just have the Airbnb. I've got Canada cleaning it because I have someone moving in later today.
Ooh,
I'm good.
exciting. So you got new
Yeah,
people.
I got new space. Like normally I just rent it for 30 days, but
Mhm.
I had it vacant for the month this month. And then I thought, oh, I'm gonna put in like a 2 week rental. And I actually got to rent it. I was like kind of surprised.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, it's good. Yeah. And then I have somebody moving in March 1st for like a couple months. Yeah, it's surprising. The Airbnb actually does better than I thought. I wasn't sure how it was going to go. It's such a small unit.
Do you think it's better than renting? Oh, did we lose you?
Whoops, I think I lost you there for a sec.
I don't know if it was me or you.
No, it's probably me because I'm driving.
I love it. So, do you think Airbnb is better
Um,
than
I don't
renting?
I don't know if it's better. Uh I decided to do this one unit as an Airbnb as an experiment to see how it would go. And like so far, I'll give it a little more time and I'll look at the numbers and see does it make sense because I have to pay for internet,
Mhm.
which is like $80 per month. So it adds up, there's a few more costs, but I do find it's easier on the unit because people aren't moving, furniture in and out. So it tends to be a little easier on the unit itself.
Beautiful.
But I had somebody, they took my vacuum, and when I had the cleaners over, they didn't realize that. So I couldn't really charge anybody for it. So it's a learning curve too. Right. I like to actually, so I brought Canada over. So now she knows what the space looks like, kind of what's expected. And so she can go next time, right? She can go check it out. She doesn't always have to clean it. I'm getting her to clean it because this person just booked today, right? So it's kind of like, well, yeah, I'll get it cleaned when even if I had to clean it, I would get it done, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
We are part of the whatever it takes club,
Yeah, whatever it takes. Exactly. And
right?
Canda's willing to do whatever. She was 15 minutes late, and I'm like, okay, Canda, right? If I'm meeting you somewhere, it's okay to be late coming to the office, but when I'm meeting you somewhere, it's important to come on time because she does she'll say she's going to come in at 8:30 and she'll come in at quarter to nine. Which is fine. I'm at the office. Um, but when and when I'm going somewhere or meeting somewhere, I don't like, right?
I think that's always been something that I have taken into massive consideration everywhere I go is punctuality.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
I I know that for me, it's super important. And sometimes I know I'm around a group of people that they don't think about that. And I remember
Yeah,
like
yeah,
corralling people because I don't like being late.
yeah. I know. I don't like being late either. It's one of my
Hi.
kind of a. Hey, I have
Uh,
to jump off and because I just arrived home and I'm gonna just log in on my computer.
Cool, no worries. I'll see you in a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the worst timing ever.
Hey, Rez, how are you?
Hey, I'm good, Eric. Good to see you. How are you?
Grateful, brother. Grateful. It's nice to see you, brother. It's been a while, man.
Yeah, I've been busy. I went there was a chat a few weeks ago maybe with Sigitas and that was really cool. Also,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice, brother. Do you want to share a little bit about yourself so JJ and Ronald get to know you a little bit?
Yeah, sure. My name's Erez. I live in Stockholm right now. Actually, my daughter's doing football practice, so I'm just kind of walking around the track area. And I like computers and training, and uh, yeah, I'm open to connecting and growing and meeting new people. So thankful to be here. And yeah,
It's good to have you, brother.
and I'd love to hear more about Brazil. Also, I saw you were down there. That it looked like an amazing adventure.
Well, I've lived in Brazil in the past, and it's been a really key, experience of my life. And so we are going there for a retreat at the end of April. And so, have you looked at the website?
Which website?
Okay, so you haven't yet. Yeah, so for the event, we're doing the Conscious Revival in Brazil at the end of April, April 28th to May 4th.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll take a look when I get a chance later.
Yeah, for sure. I can send you the link if you want. And this beautiful man Ronald is one of the amazing wealth leaders part of it, and we're really excited. Hopefully JJ can make it down too. And we'll see what happens.
Cool.
A lot of great people. JJ, how are you, brother?
Hey everybody. Hey Ronald, Eric, Eretz. How do you pronounce your name? E- Eretz?
Erez, like
Eretz.
Arizona without the ona. Yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah.
That sounds
But
good.
in
Good.
Hebrew,
Good.
it's Erez. I don't expect that from
Ah,
you guys.
all right. No, that's good. I can do a little bit. Achat shtaim shlosh. I can do
Ah, very nice.
that.
1, 2, 3. Good job.
Right. Right. Yes. So yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I just can't get out of this flow I am in right now, and that's good. That's a very good sign. I am doing very, very good. Uh, I have uh, a connection with people that I would not have imagined. It's really amazing, amazing. The last couple of days and even weeks, and I'm enjoying this ride very, very much, and I hope it will never end. I know it will never end. This
Tell
is my
us
new
more.
life.
Tell us more.
I, well, I had yesterday, I guess. No, when was it? I guess end of last week. I had a call with Femke. Ronald knows Femke, the author of the book. We're almost done with the translation work, and so already thinking about the next step. It's still some work to do. When this book is amazing, Ronald. It's really amazing. It's a very good mindset book for kids about financial literacy, financial freedom. Very good. So that makes me very happy. That part that makes me very happy. Um, Another one, I had a call with Tanya, the Noster girl. She's an amazing person. We were just ping ponging back and forth ideas what we could do. So most probably we were going to do an online Noster workshop together with selected people. Where we just had this idea. Then I had a call with Pierre, the filmmaker, today, which also he introduced me to his new business he's doing with Bitcoin payments and how it's implemented. Very much technical. I did not understand everything yet, but it was a um, very good call today. All these people are so, how do I say? They just are on the same frequency as I am, and I feel it immediately. It's unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. And so this is what like in my work environment, in my private life, I had um, some people just calling me up, or I met them randomly in the city, and we went for lunch a couple of days later. Things like that just happen over and over and over again. And sometimes I don't understand where I am, what I'm doing here. But it's really the magic just does not stop, and it's like I almost get used to it now. It's great. I'm doing good. I'm very happy. I haven't been so good in years. To be honest, right? Yes, Ronald. Exactly. Perfect. My life is wonderful. Yes. High five. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah. And I feel like I'm shaping my future, and I'm shaping with people around me that are on the same frequency, that have the same ideas, that share the same vision, uh, and all that. And you know what? I'm very thankful and I'm grateful for the moment you probably, Eric, especially you had. You were on the call when I got kicked out of that IT project, right? That moment, I'm really grateful for that moment now, because that initiated something completely new. I'm in a completely different life now than I was like 3 months ago. It's unbelievable. Now I have to stop.
You don't need to stop if you want to keep sharing. This is important
No,
to
it's
share
yeah,
so people can tap in and recognize the importance of what it means to live with faith versus fear.
yeah, yeah,
Because most
absolutely.
people in this world, they are so caught up in fear that they cannot pay attention to recognizing the resourceful state of how interconnected we get to be. And uh, there's a lot of ease and grace associated with frequency. Tesla talked about frequency, vibration, and energy. And this is something that most people have zero understanding of because they're so conditioned by the mind. And I have to say that, when you were going through those experiences and you were in a state of fear, it was just something that allowed us to bring back the coherence when we were on the call together. And coherence is a beautiful thing, right? Because one of the things that we are prone to discover is to fall back into our patterns of the past because they're comfortable. And the comfort is actually what takes us away from the growth. Because you just had a beautiful language of hey, these things or these people or these frequencies are on a higher state of consciousness, because you're choosing to operate from coherence, right? And so I love that you're sharing and don't apologize that you're sharing. It's important that you keep sharing because people learn from your share, not from you being quiet. And uh, it's important to be willing to shine like the sun because otherwise others won't understand that it's the mind. I was just on a call uh, for, Brazil for a lady that, really says she wants to join and add value, and she's not even present. She can't be coherent in the moment. And coming from a place of saying, "Hey, I want to contribute my energy," and she's not even able to focus her energy in that present moment. So it's interesting because most people, uh, the decisions that everything is a pattern, brother. Everything is a pattern. And if we cannot, the way we do one thing is the way we do everything. So if we really want to continue to grow and we really believe in that, then we have to show up when in those states of uncomfort. And that's what you're doing, my brother. And that's why it was so easy for you to connect with Tanya and Pierre and these other people because they have been doing it. And now you're doing it as well.
Yeah. No, very true. Yeah, very true. Yeah. I like the what you said that I should keep sharing my experience, and I guess this is also why I'm showing up on these calls more often when the time allows it, or when my work allows it to do. Because when I talk about it, when I share, it becomes more and more a reality because it also, it resonates in my brain, in my ears, what I'm saying, and um, the, the experience I'm going through, and so it also becomes, how do I say, instead of being quiet, talking about it, it's just also my mind understands, right, what I'm going through. So it's good. So I keep coming back to these calls and share. Absolutely. That's part of the journey. It's an important part of the journey.
Total vulnerability. That's what this place is for.
Yes. Yeah.
No bullshit.
That's part of my new life. No bullshit. I don't accept bullshit anymore.
Yeah, because the people that are really in their hearts, we could see past it. We all have bullshit
Mhm.
meters, remember?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's important.
Also, something I would like to share is you said like many people around us, they live in fear, and I can clearly see that more and more, that many people, or most people, live in fear, um, without, they don't even know that they are living in fear. They are not, they don't have the awareness that they are living in fear. So that this is an interesting what I observe more and more, because also I can recognize these patterns, or these, certain behaviors or certain words, what they say, how they communicate, their sentences, the words they choose, and all that. And um, for me, it gets more and more clear. I can understand more and more what people say and what state they are in. Um, that's it's an interesting observations I do. Yeah.
So I'm curious, when you observe others and when you sense the bullshit meter, what do you sense? Because this is something that could be very advantageous for the group. With your own experience,
Yeah.
the more that you tap into this intuitive experience, because that, right? Remember, when we're observing and we're listening, we are the person that's listening.
Yeah.
So even in our own thought process, who's listening? Where is that state of consciousness coming from? So now maybe you can take us through your experience, because then I can observe the observer.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one, Eric. Thank you. Thank you. Maybe I can break it down to I recognize a lot of self-limiting beliefs when people talk, or when we have conversations about anything in life or work or whatever. So a lot of self-limiting beliefs showing up that actually I also used these words or sentences or in my past, right? So that's why I know it. Maybe I cannot do that, or that this is not for me, or I'm okay what I'm doing and where I am, and so and maybe I don't need to have a higher salary. I don't want to ask my boss or some, things like that. So they are limiting themselves, because, well, this is not a because. What I think is they are afraid of the of the consequences when they get rid of the limiting beliefs. Right? It's unknown territory for many people, right? And this is maybe not so a comfortable feeling for many people to step into unknown territory, especially about themselves. Unknown territory about myself or about oneself is can be scary, right? Can be scary. I think that's
People
the
don't know. Right.
yeah, right. So I think that's the most common patterns or behaviors I see or I recognize. And then another one that I'm observing is not taking responsibility. So push the responsibility to someone else. Like it's their fault. It's their fault that so and so happened, or that I'm in that and that situation right now. Also, this is something I'm recognizing more and more. And from my perspective, this has also to do, and I was also, at one day or in my past, years ago, I was also there. I was also using these words and these patterns and all that. So, from my perspective, this has to do with maybe a little bit missing self-awareness or self-esteem. Maybe also, I'm not sure if I'm using the right words here, but taking responsibility for oneself and, for example, my own life. I'm the creator. I'm the architect of my life. I can do whatever I want, right? And it's not someone else's fault. I can't push the responsibility to someone else, to some individual or some circumstances. This just does not to me does not make sense anymore. To these patterns, right? So I think these are the two most common I see in almost every person around me. It's not exactly everybody, but the majority. I mean,
Because a lot of people are living in their heads, right? They're still living in their heads.
I have good friends. I have like very good friends, a few very good friends, and they have a certain level of awareness. And then many don't, right? It's interesting to see.
I had something that just along the lines of what you're talking about, JJ, a few days ago, I was in this conversation with someone, and I was kind of sitting in the awareness of it. And I basically, said, you're projecting onto me. And basically, this is on you. You're feeling this certain way. It's on you. It's not on me. I said, I got my own stuff, but you're projecting right now. And I don't want to be that person where we're each projecting on each other. We have to own you said it, we have to own our own stuff. And if we're feeling a certain way about something, we have to own that. Instead of, that doesn't mean we don't talk about it. I want to talk about it, get your feelings out for sure. But when it starts projecting onto me that it's my fault or I've done this, I just stood up and said, no, that's not going to work for me. That is you. I'm in charge of my feelings. I'm going to own it. You need to own your feelings. Because what I said is, I'm not going to worry about someone's reaction to the real Brenda. If I'm being the real me, it's about being honest, being just saying my truth, whether you like it or not. Your reaction is going to be your reaction. I can only deal with me here. And it ended up being a really good conversation. Because I wasn't backing down on what I really truly believe at that moment. I was not going to own that stuff coming from that other person. And I felt really good after that, because it was like, oh, it really ended on a really good note because we understood each other. So I hear you, like I totally hear you, because and sometimes if I'm seeing something in another person, I have to realize that still they're a mirror for me. So there might be something that I need to dig deep on. Because if I'm seeing it in them, maybe there's a part of me that's still living in fear or living in anxiety. Like I was telling Tracy this morning, I have that little bit of anxiety here because I'm getting my knee replacement. And sometimes the memories come in about my last knee replacement. And I get a little anxious. So it's important for me to own that, not to suppress it or repress it, to own it. And okay, this is going to be a good, talking to myself, realizing it's going to be a good thing. You've done it before. You can do it. You're not dying. You're just getting a knee replacement. And I can go in with the white light around me. But I owned it to her. And because, I said, how are you feeling? And then she asked me how I'm feeling. And then I wanted to go and be honest about how I felt. Because I did feel that little bit of, right? It wasn't like, oh, I'm filled with joy in that moment. I owned up to just, saying it, getting it out, and then I can let it go, right? I don't have to let that anxiety stay there. Like right now, it's gone. Like even when I'm talking about right now. So anyway, don't you love life? It's always bringing you stuff.
Yes.
It's bringing you stuff. It's like that person is brought into your life for you to learn from. Like, this is going to happen. and you're learning from it. I mean, it's quite magnificent when you look at it. And my knee replacement, when I was thinking about it, I'm going, this is just another experience, Brenda. It's neither good nor bad. It's just an experience, right?
Yeah.
I don't have to put the bad on it because it's not bad. It's actually quite fantastic that what they can do, they can take your knee out, your knee that isn't working for you, and they can put a new one in a matter of a few hours. And you're actually walking around like that night. Like you get that surgery during the day, 7 o'clock, you're freaking walking. And then they send you
Wow.
home that night. It's quite miraculous when you think about it. Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
I'd like to share also. I was inspired after hearing all of you. I definitely struggle with fears and anxieties, and I'm trying to push through that. And part of me feels like shame or embarrassment even admitting it, or it makes me feel kind of like, I guess, weak as a man. Like that, yeah, I have fears and anxieties, but
Yeah.
I'm also trying to be more aware of it and do things to overcome it, or to work through them and not let them get through,
You might want to
not
get some
let them impede.
of this
What
canna
is that?
extract. It can help a little bit with anxiety. It's called canna extract. Google it. It's over the
Is it
counter,
like
not prescription. It's kind of a mood enhancer. So if you're feeling, so yesterday, or I don't know, when I was talking to Tracy and I felt anxiety, I took a little of this because it just kind of takes a little bit of the edge off. And yeah, Google it. Canna extract.
it's like
You can buy
THC,
it.
or it's like cannabis or something?
No, no,
Ah,
no.
okay.
It's not cannabis. It's actually, and I mean, I don't know enough about it. Mike just suggested this, Mike Zeller. And so I got it. I never actually used it, but then when I was feeling a little stressed, it's very mild. So you may not even feel anything, but when you're talking about anxiety, I had when I wasn't admitting I had anxiety a number of months ago because I was suppressing it. And when I discovered that I had this anxiety about rental properties, especially, I'm like, I was a bit shocked because I thought, oh, I can handle all of this. And of course I can handle it, but it was leaving me, I would read a text from a tenant and I'd go in a rage or something. I'm like, oh my God, I would just go into this rage about what the tenant just wanted to get their toilet fixed or something. It was nothing, but I turned it into an anxiety. So you want to take that seriously if you're feeling a lot of anxiety. Do you meditate?
Yeah, I'm working on it. I do sometimes, but for me right now, what's helping me the most is like physical training and uh, um, going out for walks,
Yeah.
uh, going to judo, being with friends and training, going to the gym, hugging trees, which we
Hugging
talked
trees.
about.
Yeah, that's good too. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. That's
Yeah, I
right.
came
You
out
had
in
the other
one
day.
of the other groups. Yeah, that I'm a tree hugger, and that actually
Oh, I love that.
helps me a
I love
lot.
that. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Uh, yeah, and I've just been kind of trying to have a better understanding of where the anxiety and fear and stress is coming from, and different experiences uh, in my life, or from other stories that have kind of shaped those fears, and whether or not they're genuine, or if they're things that are just kind of like roadblocks or obstacles that I need to to break down, kind of like the bullshit you guys were talking about, that it's like all in my head kind of thing. So
Mhm.
and that's one
When
of the things
I,
that also brings me to this group. I like that we're
Mhm.
able to discuss
Yeah.
these things.
Well, when I, in November, when I went on that journey, a plant medicine journey, which I really didn't know that much about, which was life-changing for me because I realized where that anxiety was coming from. And it was from a lot of childhood trauma that I had experienced that I really thought I dealt with. But when you're on, when your heart opens and the real you comes out, a lot of that, the childhood traumas, that's what I was looking at. And I was able to kind of shed them, which was miraculous.
Yeah.
Now,
Nice.
when I feel anxiety coming on, I just have such a better way of dealing with it. I let it come up. Well, I don't suppress it. I used to suppress it all the time. I would like push it down. No, no, no. This isn't. And then it would come out probably in my knees that I'm getting replaced right now. Or, it's coming out somehow that you can't just suppress things. They're going to show up. And it was showing up for me in how I was dealing with my work, and it was showing up in how I was dealing in my relationship. All of those because I had the wall up. I had this wall up. I had to, crash through it and basically change my personality, change the way I was doing things, how I was showing up in the world. I was showing up with a lot of resentment and frustration and impatience. And just to realize I don't have to do that anymore. I don't want to do that anymore is it's just like a huge relief. Like it's almost like the weight comes off your shoulders of years and years of holding on to old stories.
Yeah. Yeah, I can relate in some ways.
Mhm.
And it sounds like, Erez, that you're also wanting to continue to integrate that into your daily life, letting it go. So I'm curious, what
Yeah.
story do you feel like there might be blocking you?
Uh, what story? Hmm. I don't know, but I definitely I've been thinking a lot about pain, like emotional pain, and how that things that have happened in my life, or either to me or other people um, that have affected me, hmm, and some of the uh, situations that I've been through that have made me feel really sad, or and maybe have been a bit suppressed, and instead of embracing it as part of my experience and my story, I kind of was trying to escape from it.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I feel you, bro. All my life
Yeah.
I've been, when I was a little boy, I was wanting to escape from reality,
Mm,
because society had created a story from my perspective that the things outside of me are more valuable than the ones inside of me.
mhm,
And that is something that I get really challenged with, because what we are inside is fucking priceless.
totally.
And so that was something that I needed to discover within my own experience of recognizing, what does it mean if I'm willing to come from within and truly show up? And if I show up from that state of congruence, how priceless do I see each person around me, their presence? Just their presence. because ultimately it's the feeling that we give each other that makes us infinitely resourceful.
Yeah.
Any insight, Ronald? You're so patient and peaceful.
Yes, I have some insights. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you well.
Uh, at first, that was the triad, focus, language, and body. We're focusing a lot of the language, the words not to use, like the word but. And uh, the what you taught me is that listening is even more important. And the insight I got during this conversation was not only the listening, but what do I feel, hear, say, do? That's all about the body. And it got me curious to do more investigation into that part. So that what triggered me, because the presence you bring to a situation, how more present you are, the better the situation will be or will evolve or whatever. If you say better, the words are not a good word. Or I say it's my hallucination. So the listening is a very, very, very underrated state of presentness. That's what I'm saying. And what I noticed in myself is that I speak less, and when I speak the words necessary in that situation more, so you have more impact. In the past, I was always spreading knowledge. Now I'm spreading wisdom.
Love that. And love.
And love, of course.
That just feels good.
Like it's like less is more.
Mm.
Less is more.
Yep. So it's the body I'm focusing on. So it's what you see, hear, feel. How do you breathe? Where do you breathe? High, low. And Ares, when you feel a little bit, how do you call it? When you feel that feeling you were describing,
Yeah.
just get back to your breathing. Do a box breathing like the Marines,
Mhm.
and it will take you
I don't.
immediately to a calmer state.
What's it called? Box breathing? I don't know.
Yes, so you can breathe for 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out, and you pause 4 seconds. You breathe for and if it's 4 or 5 or 10, whatever
Yeah.
it suits you.
Hmm. I'll check it out. I'll look more into that. Thanks.
And what it does, it calms your body. And when your body is calm, your mind is getting calm, and so the whole triad is getting stronger.
Yeah. I need some of that. That sounds really
So
good.
it's something you can use when you have that feeling. Just go back to your breathing, and then look at the situation, and then not worse or better than it is, just what it is, and then you discover it's it's not that difficult.
Yeah.
And it's the feeling you
Yeah.
have surrounding that situation, like Brenda described with the tenant, that triggers an old feeling, and the old feeling triggers old behavior, and that's not what you need in that situation. So
Yeah. I do some breathing exercises, and it does help sometimes. And sometimes I need to remind myself more to do that.
yeah, when you feel that, when you have that feeling that you're just concentrate on your breathing. Or
Yeah.
another thing I do when I walk in nature, I concentrate on what I hear. I just put on another how do you call it, sense. So
Yeah.
mostly my ears, or what do I feel when you walk into the wind, and it brings you to another state. Or if it gives you another feeling, and then you mix it with the feeling you have, and then, oh, it's not so bad.
Hmm.
What is really happening? What is really happening? So, coming to my destination, so I need to be aware.
So I'm
Where are
curious.
you?
Go ahead.
I just wanted to know where you're heading to. Curious.
Oh, I'm going to a hotel where I will be doing my yearly checkup for the changes in the tax law in the Netherlands. So I
Oh,
will be studying tonight.
cool.
So I'm curious, before you get out of the car, Ronald and JJ. Uh, Speaking of less is more, I really would like to invite, if you guys are still open to taking on Ronald, like Thursday's call. And then we can use your specific link so that you can share it in the group. And JJ, if you're open to taking on Saturday's call, the community development one, and then you use your specific link in the group. I'm really feeling like it's time for me to take a step back and take less on in terms of these calls, so that the value that I am bringing is also a lot more focused inward. And so that because I'm sensing,
Goedenavond, ik kom hier voor de cursus.
I'm sensing, and I know Brenda also, if you don't mind, just focus, like you said, focusing on the real estate with Andrea.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then I'll put those links where you are all leading the calls yourselves. Is that something so that can have your personal links and you guys can really own those days? JJ, is that something that works with you?
I would be interested in doing that. However, I will check also the schedule on Saturdays. It's normally 5 o'clock, 5 p.m. here. Yeah, let me check. Let me check what would be a good format for that for me, and what will fit in my schedule, and how can could I organize that? But thank you for bringing it up, Eric. I appreciate that you appreciate your trust in us to do these calls. But I'm sure there is a way, and there are options how we can organize that.
Yeah. And Ronald, for you, brother, I know that you already talked about it. I just want to make sure if it's still something that aligns with you. We lost your.
Hey, sorry, guys, I have to jump off. I had a call at 9:30 with Sundry. I'm a bit late. I will talk to you later.
Nice to see you, Brenda.
Take care, Brenda.
Ronald, I think we lost your audio. Not.
It's okay, brother.
hear
Don't
me?
worry. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it's my rocket is playing with me. So, do you hear me now?
Hmm.
Okie dokie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will definitely do that, Eric. I have only the challenge that I teach at that time until 7 for me, until your time with the call on Thursday is from your 9 o'clock, eh?
It's my 9, yeah.
Yeah, so it's my 5 o'clock, and then I'm teaching
Okay, so you can't
this
do it
month
then.
and the second month.
Okay.
So if we can push the time frame a little, I can do it from the school. So I will definitely do that. It's at the moment a question of planning. So we fix this together. No worries.
Okay.
I have something
figure it
to
out.
share.
Please.
I would have. Yeah, sorry. I would have something to share with Eris about what he said. What I've learned in this group is, and I noticed that when you were talking, using the word trying, right? Because we are not trying, we are doing, right? When you're not trying to lift the chair, you lift the chair, right? You're not trying to climb the stairs, you're climbing the stairs. Okay? So whenever you want to say, I try to do such and such or this and that, just rephrase your sentence without trying, without the word trying, and see what happens to your mind when you do that. When you say, I'm trying to be a better human being, right? Say, I am a better human being, for example, right? Actually, when you skip the word trying in your language, some magic can happen.
It makes you wonder who thought of it, doesn't it?
Right.
Like, why does that word even exist then?
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Who thought of that one?
No, it's not useful.
Try to hug a tree.
Mm.
I'll just do it.
No, try it. Try it.
Hug a tree, right? Yeah.
When you start noticing your language, you realize how many other words there are for other words.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
So cool.
So, Eris, this is something I would like to share with you. That is something you can take for tonight and
Yeah.
think about it. And whenever that word comes out of your mouth, stop and start the sentence again without the word trying, and see what happens.
I'll do that. Yeah.
Good, great.
Thanks for sharing. I
Sure,
was
sure.
about to say I'll try that, but I'll do that.
Right? Yes, exactly. That's what we want to hear.
Okay.
And when you're doing that, when you utter the wrong words, just add the words in the past behind that, and then rephrase the sentence.
Mhm.
That works.
Okay.
So
Thanks
if
for
you
sharing,
say, I'm
JJ.
going to try to hug the tree in the past, now I'm doing it. Something like that.
Yeah.
I'm a tree hugger. It makes complete sense to me.
We have a moment there, right, Eris? We have a moment.
Yeah.
Tell us.
I would say we had a few moments. I think our first moment was I've only interacted with you one other time in this, but it was a very memorable moment for me when you were walking down the street and you bumped into your friend, and
Oh,
you were so
yeah.
happy to see them, and that joy, it just like I felt like it spread to all of us in the group. So that's my first memory of you. And it made an impression.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
The notice of the universe working with us.
Yes.
I remember that
Yes.
moment. I was there.
Oh, wow. So cool. It's so good to share these moments
Yeah.
with the whole world, right? It's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah. It's amazing.
I have to get going, but I can share with you one of my favorite moments. This is my daughter, Danny, and she just
Hi,
finished
Danny.
Hi,
football.
Danny.
Oh, so cool.
Good.
Some new friends from a meeting, a group. Yeah. So thank you all so much, and
Nice
See you,
to see
brother.
you.
yeah,
Bye.
take care.
Bye.
Bye,
Nice meeting
Danny.
you.
Bye-bye.
Could you
Bye.
take the water bottle?
So you guys, I have to run. I have another meeting. However, I would really love maybe JJ, if you can help me with your link, and maybe we can set you up in the calendar for
Yeah.
Saturdays. And then Ronald, for now we'll get started as we go. I'm gonna get Brenda set up and a couple others set up so that I'm literally backing off into the distance so that I can focus on other things, and I can focus my energy on attention on just taking a step back. So
I'll come back to you, Eric. Yes. Thank you.
Well, Eric, I'd like to acknowledge all you've done. Nice work. Thank you. You brought
Thank
the
you.
light.
Thank you, everyone. Big love. Appreciate you all. Talk soon.
Likewise, see you.